So this is our client Thomas, and in this interview, I'm going to be walking through how we took him from basically no consistent leads, really having no way to actually scale, stuck at that 5K a month mark with his washing business, how we took him to pretty much making $26,000 in April, purely just from our ads. So last 2 months, we made about 45K from only around spending $1,900 on ads. So this is going to be a very juicy one. So let's dive into it.
I want to talk about a no-brainer. $1,900 investment for $43,000, $44,000. It's a no-brainer. Look at what this guy's doing. Look at his track record. I'll be honest, for the people that are in my position thinking about partnering with you in the beginning, of course, who's not hesitant with that, financial investment up front? You made me feel comfortable throughout the process. But, at the end of the day, it's me still spending money. You personally do all of the things that you're supposed to do to help your customer, become successful. Even, people I talked about in the beginning are like, hey, that's a lot of money and everything else. I'm like, of course, but look at what this guy's doing. Look at his track record. And anybody I talked to or talked through this course or what we were doing together, a lot of people were just like, hey, that really panned out. That was a really smart move. And I'm like, you're dang right it was. Gage's doing a great job. So yeah. My name's Thomas. I'm the owner of Pearson Pro Wash. We're a Northern Virginia based washing company. I've been in business about 4 years now, really in an official capacity, so to speak, or is how I refer to it, about 2 years. Last year I had a legitimate system, everything, and all of it was organic, word of mouth last year. Did really well. And, was like, I can do this. Let me double down, invest in some good equipment. And the one thing I knew that I was lacking was marketing. I knew the word of mouth thing is great. That is an organic piece that you cannot deny in your company. But I knew I really wanted to, more twofold for me, take the lead source problem and just outsource it. It's day to day for me. I am the mechanic, I'm the technician, I'm the guy answering the phones, I'm everything. And I knew that I was lacking in the media part of it, where setting up an ad or anything like that. I just don't know how to do it. I don't do my own taxes. I have a CPA for that. I just was like, I'm gonna find somebody. So I started doing some research and I found you and booked a call, and we talked about where I was at last year. I was doing 6,000 to 8,000 a month, which was pretty good. Some months were a little bit less than that, and then I think May last year was my big month, and I think it was 11 and a half, maybe 12,000 that month, which was fairly good for me. To preface it, I'm a firefighter. So that's my full-time job. I'm in the firehouse. Essentially, it works out for 24 hours every 3 days. So a third of my month is spent on a 24-hour shift in a firehouse. Contacted you, went over everything, talked to you about it, and you figured that we were a good fit. I felt like that we were. You went over and really helped me understand the process, talk me through what you think needs to be done on ad spend. I talked to you about my goals, and my goal was, I'll do, if I bring to the table my $5,000 or so organic, have Gage and you all help me bring in another 5 to 7, I think is what we were looking at, maybe like a $15,000 a month, goal, which I don't even think we didn't even have, which was amazing for me. We didn't even have to crawl past that. Our first month, we passed that. And then this month, I don't know if you had a chance to look yet. This month was insane. I did the numbers, so I did the math for you.
Cool. Awesome.
This
month was great. Tell me the
month. First month, which was March, which I didn't even work in March because I was dealing with an equipment problem last year with a distributor, and I didn't get my stuff till just before April. Like the last couple days of March, I got my equipment last year. March of this year, I believe it was like 17 and change, which was awesome. Some of it came from organic. A lot of it came from the ads that we were running. And I constantly still getting requests for estimates, which is great. Makes me feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more safe in the business. Like, yeah, these people are contacting me. They want services. I got leads out there. I got estimates out. I can follow up with people. I can kind of push that envelope a little bit. So 17,000 in March. And I just sent over.
And that was all from us, right? From the ads.
Yeah. Some of it was organic, but as you teach, have a presence. So, talk social media, post pictures, all that stuff. So who's to say they see some of the organic posting that you were encouraging and everything that we were doing, or did they see the ad? A lot of them the vast majority came from the ads. They came through the Messenger app like we do, and a lot of it came from that. It exploded for me in April. In again, working a third of the month in the firehouse, I did 26,000, I think 26,000 in April and change, 26 and change. So the vast majority of that came from ads. Some of those bigger jobs, like the Best Western, I watched a hotel, it's $3,500. That actually came from a source from the ads. I watched his house, and then he was like, "Hey, do you do commercial work?" And then there we go. We're off to the races. So, yeah, it's been intense. That's a lot of work for one guy. So I'm a one-man show. I don't have any helpers. It's only me. And in 2/3 of the month, I was able to do $26,000, which is freaking insane.
Dude, it's crazy because you came to us at 5 to 8, and you wanted to get to 15. And I'm going to showcase the numbers here so far. So I added it up. Correct me if I'm wrong, but just in the last 2 months alone, we've spent about $1,900 on ads, and we made $43,000, 347. Or so 43. You know what I'm saying? 43.
Just under 44,000, which is off of an $1,800 to $1,900 investment. There's these things that my girlfriend jokes with me because she thinks that I have a never-ending dialogue in my head during the day of just talking to myself, and I do, because like I'm constantly trying to be like, hey, you gotta check in with this customer, I gotta let them know that I'm coming, whatever. I talk about things to myself about no-brainers, like, hey, like I gotta make sure I do that. That's a no-brainer. You want to talk about a no-brainer? $1,900 investment for $43,000, $44,000. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
That's insane. I don't know I can't do the math on the ROI for that, but it is, you drum it down to absolutely. And I'll be honest, for the people that are in my position thinking about partnering with you in the beginning, of course, who's not hesitant with that, financial investment up front? You made me feel comfortable throughout the process, but at the end of the day, it's me still spending money. You personally do all of the things that you're supposed to do to help your customer, me, become successful. Even, people I talked about in the beginning, they're like, hey, like that's a lot of money and everything else. I'm like, of course, but like, look at what this guy's doing. Look at his track record. And then you look at me and I'm like, everybody I talked to or talked through this course or what we were doing together, a lot of people were just like, hey, that really panned out. That was a really smart move. And I'm like, you're dang right it was. Gage's doing a great job. So
at the end of the day, man, I mean, it's really simple, right? I mean, the more people that know, like, and trust you about the service that you do, and you make that a no-brainer for the customer, how are they not going to buy from you? If you built that brand that's generating leads and you're able to close deals, like, it's printing money. So I just did the ROI. That's 24x. So basically, for every dollar we spend, you're making 24 back.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Yeah.
That's awesome.
And considering we've only worked together for only 2 months.
Yeah.
So imagine what that would look like over the course of the whole season.
Which is exactly what I was going to say. Like, I'm thinking to myself, wow, like we're crossing this bridge in the first 2 months. The next couple are only going to be, as successful as the season allows in those months. Like, obviously we're pushing through the busy season right now, but if you can keep me with the foot on the gas like you have been through those months where things kind of dwindle a little bit, I'll be passing my goal throughout the entire season, which is amazing. And then you were very much a prominent part of the holiday light business, what we're going to do. And you and I talked about this, and you were like, listen, that is in a few months. We're in the wash season now. Let's just focus on this. And you're going to help me with getting set up with your network of people to help me get into that business, which is another, great financial opportunity. And I now have a resource via you and the people you've networked with. I've extended my own network. And we have a chat that you put us all in. There's constant information exchange in there. Constant. Guys are coming up against a challenge in their day-to-day. They post in one of the chats, in your chat, and guys are like, hey, I think this might solve that problem, or try this. You might get a positive solution to whatever issue you're dealing with. So there's a lot of benefit. There's a lot of value, not just the financial side, which is obviously great, but there's other pieces of the puzzle that you bring. Like, I personally am looking at the holiday light thing and I'm like, man, I hope I know people that do this. I have you and I have your people. It's exactly what I need.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
So tell everybody kind of like, obviously this is, we were both not really expecting this, like
No.
be making all this money just from what we've been able to help you do. For those of you watching, like the ads that we're running for him, and I will go like, man, when you first started with us, you didn't really have a lot of content. We just had to scrap everything from previous stuff and
Mhm.
utilize it, or like force you to do selfie videos on
Yeah.
jobs that you didn't actually have.
Yeah.
So I
No,
remember
seriously.
that. Yeah.
The onboarding process, you're like, hey, these are the types of things that I need. We go through all of those videos that you send, and you have, hey, take these types of videos, take the, narrate yourself on the job and do all of that, which I did, and it was uncomfortable, and I did it anyways. And
Yeah.
just the process of getting, and this was the beginning of the season. I didn't have jobs lined up, so I was anything I could. Like I did a patio cleaning at my sister's house. I did just to get content, and then I got you what you needed. You put the ads together, and it was the same day the ads launched. I booked the amount of work that the ad spend was going to cost me for the month. So the ads got posted within 24 hours. So, which is in the beginning when the money's not coming in, hand over fist like it is right now. Thank God, to get that amount of money in, you're like, wow, this is great. This is amazing. But yeah, trying to be a little bit, and we know you have talked to me about it. I'm still focusing on trying to get content. But yesterday, I'm in between my rotations at the firehouse. I worked 24 hours. I was off all day yesterday. I'm back in the firehouse right now for 24 hours. Yesterday, I did 7 houses alone, which was a lot. I did some content like you want me to, but it's tough. But what a great problem to have. You're busy. And every single job I did yesterday was from ads. Every single one, all 7 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
no, it's been awesome. I want to dive into a lot of things here. There's a lot of things I want to dive into, but the first one, I mean, like, how has this impacted your life, man? Like you, your girlfriend, like I know you said on the last call you guys are looking into, I think you said buying a house.
yeah. So in the personal life, she obviously is very understanding. She knows that this is the busy season. She helps me with like the administrative stuff, which I, very thankful for. And this is a path to financial freedom for me with, being able to afford a home, getting a down payment together. I was able to upgrade a lot of my equipment to the point where I am very comfortable and self-sufficient. And now it's just, time to put the foot on the gas, start stacking money away. And hopefully in the off season this year, which is great, probably buying a home, which with how this is going, we're able to move that timeline up. So with partnering with you and being as much success has been driven through this process, outside of the pressure washing vacuum that is our, the business, I'm able to, with the revenue from the business, move up a timeline of buying a home, which is insane, which is incredible. So yeah, very lucky, very fortunate, very thankful for that.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. And I guess, that's just one thing, but also like, I think, as you said, you're a one-man guy right now. And I know we had a bi-weekly call because we have bi-weekly calls with all of our clients, but we touched base, I want to say last week, and we were talking a lot about like, yeah, right now is like, getting the foundation set, getting consistency, getting your equipment ready, but then also eventually maybe hiring on a team member or training some people up. So that way you're not on the truck all the time, because that does get to be something, right? Because you build a business out of life, you want as much money as possible, but you also need to build a systemized business so that way you're not stuck in it. And so I think that's going to be a pillar that maybe it won't be in the next month, 2 months, but we can kind of guide you and show you other ways with some people that we know and have kind of partnered with that can get you to that next level. But other than that, I mean, for the people watching too, like we've been only working together for 2 months, and the results that we've been able to get is insane. And so I just make sure that we know that, like, when we first started, I didn't say we'd make 43K in the first 3 months. I was like, hey, if we can add an extra 5 to 10, that's usually on average what our clients do. I mean, we have some clients that do like you, where they did 19 or 17K the first month, next month almost 26, which 26K from only $900 in ad spend.
That's
Dude,
incredible. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So tell everybody how it was. Like obviously like the whole content thing, like a lot of, or maybe not the content thing, I guess tell everybody more. So like we help you a lot with, yes, the ads, but like tell everybody else what we help you do and how much of an impact we've made on even other aspects of the business.
So one thing that I've realized is, especially this year with the degree of busyness that is absorbed into it a single day, I need to, and you're helping with this, do a better job of gathering the photos that I need. You have a video that you send in the onboarding process where you say, hey, you need to get these types of pieces of media, a couple before and after photos, a selfie video, if you can, a selfie photo of yourself with this, your yard sign and maybe with a customer. All of this to put a face to the name, so to speak, get your product out there. And I am still trying to do better with it, but it has been helpful knowing that I need to do it, or do a better job with it. The things that you want me to do are things that you need to do. It's just that you're the one looking over the shoulder, so to speak, holding the people accountable to do it, which is what some people need. Some people get so focused. I am myself am guilty of this, getting so focused with getting through the day that you need to actually stop and take the 5 minutes. And this is what I tell myself on every job: take the 5 minutes to just get the media stuff that you need to keep this momentum going. And it's not all for ads. It's for organic posts. It's for your own social media. It's you talk about a funnel with posting on your private page that funnels to your business page. It's gathering all the pieces of the puzzle to help do that, which is, I helped do a little altering on my Facebook page with like posting my business profile and stuff to help funnel stuff to my business, which I wasn't doing previously. I was just kind of keeping everything separate, which obviously I don't need to do. So yeah, you help push the needle in a lot of different directions that are helpful.
Yeah. Yeah. And for those of you watching too, I'm going to screen record right now and just kind of show you like the internal trainings that we built out for clients, just like obviously you, Thomas. So you went through a lot of these at the beginning, and there's some that you probably haven't gone through because we added some. But for those of you watching, I want to explain our program, because most people think that, or I guess not most, but some people that follow me for a while understand the program very well. But some people comes down to it and they see, oh, Gage runs Facebook ads. He probably just sets them up and doesn't really talk to you, doesn't help you with anything else. That's not what it is. So our program is a done with you and a done for you. So let me kind of walk you through that a little bit. So done for you, meaning we handle everything when it comes to the ads, everything: manage, launch, critique, edit, make sure everything's going good. The reason why we help you with also the other parts, which is organic marketing, branding. So we literally have 5 trainings, probably a couple hours long in this, of like how to dial in organic marketing, because that's just as important as the ads. How to properly use Facebook posts. So 3, like the psychology behind posting and sales, creating content, selfie videos, other strategic stuff. Also got back end stuff, how to increase LTV, all that sales training, even some business background, how to find killer employees, roadmap to 50K. And so I just wanted to kind of showcase that for everyone watching this, because more than likely people that reach out to me asking, hey, how you guys work, I'm going to send them this. That way it'll educate all of you, just because we help you with so much and we want you guys to succeed, just like the same with Thomas. If all we do is run one ad and we never talk to you, that's not how it is. You're not going to grow like to the level that Thomas has. You need the 3 pillars dialed in. The first one is good content and an audience, which we're still even working on with you. Sure. And then second is lead flow. So if you don't have that, you can't grow. And if you don't have sales dialed in, but you have leads, you also can't grow. So we help you with all 3 pillars, but the main funnel of these leads is through the ads and organic. So just wanted to preface that. But let's go back to some numbers here, man. So I wanted to share my screen here on Slack. So we've made 43.3K over the last 2 months. And we've spent, so first month, we did 971 in ad spend, made back 17K, which is already insane. We had the expectation of like, if we can make an extra 5K to 10K in the first month, knowing that you don't have that good content, the audience hasn't been built, and we're just getting started. But we absolutely crushed that. So 17K. And then, the second month, which will on the report here soon, you put in a ton of wins here. Yeah. And that moved up to 26.3K. So for those of you watching, don't expect to start working with us in 2 months and make what you've made. It definitely can happen, but All you guys need to focus on is doing the right things, working with the right company, giving it time, consistency, and doing the right things, and you'll make more money. It's that simple.
So
So,
there's a piece of the puzzle, I think, too, to add to that is you, and the analogy could be drawn to you opening the door, right? You've created the funnel, you've gotten the ads dialed in, you're getting people coming in, you're doing all the things. And then you essentially hand it off to me, and I need to one, close the lead, show up, do a good job, do the things I'm supposed to once I get there and arrive. And then there's a bit of a salesman part of it. And thankfully, I feel like I'm fairly decent at it where I could talk to people and be personable and whatnot, joke around with them. These people are spending their hard-earned money on you, talk to them about it. Don't make it 100% about you. Let them know some facts about your business. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm about, whatever. And then talk to them, talk to your customers, not just about what they want done, but oh, they're graduating college. Your kids are graduating college. You need me here before their party on the 18th. Oh, that's amazing. Where they graduate college, what they study. Be personable and somewhat memorable, because
100%.
who knows when they talk at the party, being like, oh, we just had, party was stressful getting everything set up. We had somebody come out, pressure washer guy. Yeah, he was actually pretty nice guy. Something that might, and it does for me. It leads to one or two or more. And do what you can to sell yourself and your business. Show up, do a good job, be polite, be somewhat memorable. Don't be rude. So once the door opens, the door provided that's what you've given to me, walk through it with, some conviction and do your job.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's all about building that brand, but also that really good customer experience. Like, bringing it back to you, how do you feel like working with us? Like, how do you feel?
Great. I am super thankful that it's been as successful as it has been. And I guess I don't know if this is the right word or the way to phrase it, but it's almost relief. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am working all the time, in the business, getting estimates out, doing what I need to do, especially in the growth stage of my business. But I know I have a safety net. I have ads running that are doing what they're supposed to be doing. I have somebody taking care of that. There's a guy, you, doing what you need to do to make sure that those doors keep opening for me. I don't have to worry about when the phone's going to ring. I don't. In the beginning, where I was like, we were first starting out last month, I was like, oh, man, I want a couple more people. Now I'm like, I'm good. I'm booked out a couple weeks. I'm comfortable. I got estimates out. I got people to follow up with. I got things to do. And I don't need to worry about when that phone's going to ring, because you're taking care of getting it to ring.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah. And for those watching too, it's an equal partnership. I always say everybody that comes on board, it's got to be a partnership and relationship. Like, we want for you have to like us. I have to like you. We have to want to help each other. And if that's not there, then we can't grow. And so you have to pick the right partner. So there's tons of ad agents out there. If it's me, whoever it is. So for those watching, work with someone that you genuinely like and that actually can deliver on what they're talking about. But for your customers, it's all about building that. And also between us, we want to create a really solid partnership that's long term. And yeah, man, I mean, that's our goal. It's like increasing lead flow, getting the brand out there. So it's awesome that you've been able to get it to a point. Like, a lot of people don't have that they're just most of the time they're just like, trying to figure out like when the next lead's going to come through. They think of it so scarcity, and they're just like, I don't know when the next lead's going to come through. I don't know when the next job is. But when you have something built that attracts leads to you, it's so much more freeing because you have leads. Same way with me, man. Like, organically, all I have to do is post. It doesn't even have to be about business, and people just roll in, and they're qualified, ready to work with me. And so, same way with how you did. I forget how you did, but I would assume you watched some podcasts.
The podcast with Mike, and I saw that, and I was like, I over the off season, I identified it was a problem that I needed an answer to. It was one that I knew that I wasn't going to be able to. Like, the analogy I said before, I don't do my own taxes. I talk to a CPA about it. I don't know how to market do the ads and get it, like, alter the targeting. Don't know. So what do? I looked around and partnered with somebody that I was like, yeah, this guy's doing the things that I want to do. And I think the biggest selling point for me with you in particular was, it's not, hey, I set up your leads and then it's just come what may, whatever, have at it. It's follow-up calls. There's the chat that you provide. There's the onboarding, all those videos that you were just showing in the screen share previously. It's not like you were like, hey man, send me a couple videos, I'll write you an ad and get it posted. It wasn't that. It was so much more than that. I'm like, you know what? This is what I'm paying for. This is what I want to pay for. I want to spend money on this because of all the things that I'm getting. So that's what made me choose you guys. And it's obviously been for me, obviously it's been the absolute correct choice.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm so pumped for you, man. It's honestly one of the things that makes me most happy. And for people watching too, and you know this like now, but like in the beginning, you might have been hesitant. I'm like, paying X amount. Um, for me, it's not about the money, and you can
Mhm.
tell that. It's like it really does make me happy when I'm able to make clients a lot of money, get them better in their terms of like their financial freedom, get them more
Sure.
jobs, more business. So it's really awesome to see. But yeah, man, and like the ads that we're running too. I know we talked about this a lot, but like for those of you watching too, um, ads isn't something that you just want to, and it depends, right? So who you have them launch, or maybe you are running your ads now. You have to create a brand. You have to talk about the problem that you solve and why you're the solution and why customers should reach out to you. You have to be worthy enough for that. And so if your ad doesn't show that, like who you are as a person, like your brand, but also like the audio side of it, like for videos and stuff like that. Like if you see an ad out there and they don't seem like they know what they're talking about, or it's just kind of slow, it's not desirable, no one's going to want to use it or, become a lead. But for you, like what we have done, like we don't have many I don't think we have a single selfie video out there. But what we've had to work with, and then like in the beginning, was the time lapse videos you
Yeah,
had, and utilizing voiceovers to somewhat replicate a selfie video.
and they're
And
killing it.
they are killing it. And the reason why is because it has a very well built offer around it. People in the beginning, right? It's like, hey, this is Thomas. Today we're out here in this. We're doing a driveway concrete cleaning. The reason why the customer called us out is this and this. If you need any of this, contact us. And so it's a well built offer talking about who you are, where you're out in, so it resonates with them, what problem you're solving, and then it's literally a video clip walking them through a satisfying video that gets your attention. And like the ads that we're running, man, one of them has 152 likes on it, 14 comments, and obviously it's made a crap ton of money.
Yeah,
And the other ones as well, I mean, also have a ton of likes, a ton of
yeah,
engagement. So it's all about building that social proof and engagement, and that just comes with time. But that definitely is a very big aspect in terms of getting cost per lead down, getting more leads, and making more money. So yeah,
absolutely.
so um, yeah, I guess walk me through, man. What's the future for the business look like? Like, where do you
So
want to? What's the goal for this
um,
year?
this season, I think, is going to be the one where I obviously just keep trying to replicate this month. It's exactly what I was. It's everything and more that I really wanted. So keep that up, and then I want to move into the highlight season. And I think next year, and probably on some of the bigger days that I have scheduled, bring on a helper, get somebody kind of get their feet wet, so to speak, in getting an understanding of the business. And the challenge I think I'm facing most in the business is I own all the equipment. I built a trailer system that is doing a great job, but do I really want an employee to drive a trailer around all day every day? Probably not. I think the best course of action would be to buy a flatbed, put somebody in that, and just go for it. So just trying to see where the growth would be, because I mean we're well on our way to, and we're obviously this year we're going to pass six figures. So knowing that is what the business is really opened up a couple options for me. What do I want to do? And I like the market that I'm in. Probably 15-20% of the month is coming from commercial work, and the rest are residential. I like the residential stuff. Because a lot of these people talk to people, and then there are residential or commercial leads that come from that. So the business is this year I'm gonna probably hit my goal in the where I want to be in for the in the six figures, which is amazing. And then next year, I think we're gonna try to either have a helper or maybe like a hybrid model of a helper and me on some days, and then like today when I'm in the firehouse, I'm not making money. Because it's only me washing. So maybe do I set them up on, 2 or 3 easy jobs? Hey man, go work half a day. I'll give you X many dollars, just to kind of take some of the pressure out of the schedule. Because right now we're booking out far enough where it's almost too far, which is awesome. So how do I fix that problem? Do I have somebody come work for me when I'm in the firehouse? Am I going to go put them in my truck and have them tow my trailer? I don't know. So that's probably when we have our next check-in, I'll probably say, hey, who in your network can steer me in the right direction as to when to do this
Yeah,
next step. So that's one of the other pieces of the puzzle that you offer.
yeah. Actually, perfect, man. I don't think we talked about this on the last one. But here's this training: how to find rockstar employees in your home service business. Um, we've recorded this with one of our potential partners, and tons of value in there. So
Oh wow.
you should watch that. I don't think we talked about that in the last one, but
You had mentioned that it was in the pipeline. So
yeah,
now that I know it and now that it's out, I'll give it a watch today. Which will be good because that is obvious. That's my next step. That's my next hurdle in the business. I'm reaching the revenue standpoint that I want. So what's next for me? Setting up the systems within the business to have the helper be successful, put them in the right piece of equipment to complete the job most efficiently. That's one thing that I made myself do over the last 2 months or so with working this year, get myself equipment that, because I had a really good setup last year and I rebuilt and redone it to have it work for me. So I need to create that again for the employee to come. So which is, considering where I was last year, to have that as my goal this year is a big step, which came from the success of what we're doing together.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I think that honestly, that training would be really, really helpful for you. I even learned some out of it. So, yeah, it's really awesome. Talks about like not only just thinking about employees as employees, having them bought into a team and the culture and something that they can feel, but also to be inspired to be on the team. Most people, when they think of hiring an employee, just get some, crappy guy. Yeah, some guy, pay him this much, put him in my truck, have him make money like a slave. You need to build a real team that loves to do what they do, and you need to have that team culture. And happier employees, successful employees will help you get the job done faster, but also create more 5-star reviews if you got your systems down. They do a fantastic job for your team and for your customers. So, yeah, man, I guess to kind of recap, I think we pretty much went over a ton of things here.
Sure.
But to kind of recap, for those of you watching, we took Thomas from 5 to 8K a month to now, where are you at on average per month now?
What would the math be between 17 and 26? 20 and change?
Yeah, probably about, so 43K.
So yeah, 21 and a half.
Yeah, so 21.6K on average. So we took you from 5.8 to 21.6K.
Yeah. You want to know something crazy? Say that sentence again. That's the crazy piece, right? That's what this been created. 5 to 8 a month to averaging $21,500 a month. That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's only average, man. This month was 26. You almost did 30K this month.
Honestly, the crazy part is I was running a lead down last month that I did maybe 3 or 4 days ago. It would have put me in striking distance of 30K if I was able to get it done in April. It just didn't pan the way I needed it to, so it's going to be in this month. But I almost was able to push, I think, get real close, maybe like 29 and change last month. Because I was towards the end, I was starting to see where April was heading, and I was like, dang, am I gonna hit 30K in April?
Yeah.
But it's honestly, the crazy part was I missed towards the end. So in the fire department, there's days where they call you and you're up to be forced overtime. You can't go home, which is a pain in the butt during the season. That happened to me in April. So there was a few extra shifts during the day that I was supposed to go home, but they were like, you don't have enough people at work, you need to stay. So I missed out on revenues from those days. If I didn't have to work the forced overtime shifts that I did in April, and I had that job close, I would have been in the $30,000 mark, which is wild. Still $26,000.
Yeah, you still closed the deal though, right?
Yeah, I closed it. It's signed. He's waiting. It's another hotel. I did a Best Western for him last month, and then he also owns a Wyndham. So it's in the pipeline. It's happening. Estimate's already signed. We're all good to go there. He's just waiting on a couple pieces of repairs that needs to be done before it gets cleaned. He doesn't want me to clean it, then have all the repairs happen. Everything gets all messy again. But that would have put me in the $30,000 mark last year.
And that lead came from one of the ads too, right? That was the guy that built the house wash and then had commercial properties.
Crazy part wasn't even a house. It was his rear deck, composite deck, and like surface cleaning in the front. He didn't need the house done. Went there, talked to him about it. Was able to make a good impression, and he was like, "Hey, yeah." And I was on a Sunday. I went over there and talked to him about it because he's like, "Hey, this is what I want. Do you also do commercial stuff?" And I said, "Yeah." Went out, met him, talked it over with him, and then he started sending me his addresses for his commercial properties, and he has a ton. He's got gas stations, restaurants, hotels, the whole 9 yards. So, and it came from an ad of yours.
Yeah, man, and like I said, the reason why is because we built that brand. People
Sure
see
did.
the social proof, the engagement. They see that you're actively out washing, and they like who you are. They like the work that you're doing. So that's
Mhm.
going to attract commercial and residential people, which is awesome. So,
Yep.
um, yeah, man, I'm excited to continue help you grow. I think for sure we'll pass 6 figures this year, man, especially with
Yeah.
Christmas sites. So, I mean, the last 2 months we made 43K. This next month we'll probably make at least another 10, I would assume. So
hmm
we're already halfway there, and that's probably not even including other work that you've got lined up.
What's it? It's May 10th. I'm already at 69, 68
Oh
hundred.
yeah, we'll for sure correct that. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. So, and you did what last year?
Like just under 60.
Cool.
Yeah.
So went from 60K to over 100. I bet we'll do over 100 for sure. Yeah, I guess other than that, man, I think we've kind of touched base on a lot of things here. So final thing for me, man, would be, I guess final thing for the people. What advice would you give people that were in your situation, whether that's working with us or not? Just what advice would you give them to get to that next level?
So especially in the growth stage of the business, when you're getting everything set up correctly and whatnot, you need to have a few pieces of the puzzle put together. You need to have the lead sources coming in. You need to have the work. You need to have the work to do good work to get more. It's a domino. So figure out what your pipeline is. My recommendation, obviously, especially with what I've been doing, is partner with somebody like Gage who has it dialed. Who has the systems in place, who's bringing more to the table than just, hey man, send me a couple videos, I'll get your ads posted. The other thing is your customers need to be treated like family. You may only see them once every 2 years, or something like that with a house wash, but they are another potential domino that will lead to a commercial job. Or, hey, my parents live in the same town. Can you do there? They are the potential for a spider web of more jobs. So as you interact with these people, do your best to sell yourself, sell the business, sell the product, sell everything. And don't my customers, I pick up the phone. I wear an earbud all day long because when the phone rings, I put the gun down, I turn and I go answer it. I do my absolute very best not to let stuff go to voicemail. They get their questions get answered. Hey, I'm wonder about schedule. It is taking focus. Their estimates get answered. If they request an estimate, I give them an estimate the same day. If the estimate comes in at 11:30 at night, the estimate gets written then and sent. It is constant attention. The other piece of it is your support system. Working as much as I am right now with a full-time job in the fire service, plus easily full-time in the wash business, I wouldn't be able to do it without the support at home with my girlfriend. She helps me take the burden of some of the things that I'm working on. So if you have a good support system, you're going to be able to be successful. So nurture that. When you make a couple bucks and you got a night off, maybe go to dinner, treat people who are treating you right, treat them right. And some people disagree with this. I'm in the very much of the boat that this is how I chose to do it. Good equipment. Show up, look professional, have good equipment. If you're, worrying about, making money, that's fine. Do what you need to get to reinvest and have a good base for your business. I worked really hard to have a really good setup to work off of. I can only work as hard as my equipment can work for me. So if my equipment is, it just trashed, it's not going to look professional. It's not going to perform appropriately. You're not going to be able to move as fast as you need to. I did it when I was first starting out, like the 1 gallon jugs of bleach. Fellas, throw it out of your truck. Clean your truck at the end of the day. Look professional showing up. If you can't afford a uniform, go on Amazon, get a collared polyester shirt. If it's all bleached out, spend the $12 and get a new one. You guys got it. It's all the image that you talk about. Show up, look professional, be professional. There's a lot of advice in that, but that's my recommendation. Just do your best to pay attention to all aspects and do your best to capitalize on it and get it done.
Yeah, no, man, I think that's great advice. I think that would help a lot of people kind of watching this. So, yeah, man, I guess anything else that you want to talk about here? I think we pretty much kind of answered a lot of things. So,
I'll hit one more piece, and I talked about it previously. And right now is a different time frame in the year. So washers have been washing, hopefully, for the last 2 months or so, maybe a little bit more. when I first started having this conversation with you, I was in the middle of the off season, so money wasn't coming in like it was. So I was taking a bigger risk with being like, hey, like, I need to invest this amount of money in you to help me be successful. If people are on the fence about it, my recommendation is, if it makes financial sense to you, talk. First of all, book a call. If be completely honest with you, Gage. You'll tell them, hey, we might need to hold off on this. I think we're a good fit. You'll be honest with them. You'll tell them what they need to know. If they're saying, hey, I don't really know if I can do this, or I think it might be too tight, you'll tell them the right thing. You'll still give them good advice. Look at your page. You walk through organic posts and all that stuff. But my advice would be, the last piece of it would be, if you're thinking about doing it, just do it. You have everything in your side of the park dialed, and it will make them successful. So my advice, if you're on the fence, jump. If you can do it, jump.